This is the local music revolution. The local music revolution. The local music revolution. The local music revolution. Hello and welcome to the Local Music Revolution. I am Ogre. I run this joint. On today's episode, we have a band out of Fresno, California called Map the Universe. I have been following Jacob the singer since he first joined the last band that he was in. We touched lightly on that subject in the interview. I was kind of surprised that the band dissolved, and very shortly thereafter, Jacob was posting about his new band and his new project. So naturally, I do what I do, and I asked him if he wanted to be interviewed with this new project, so I could talk about the process and introduce the band the right way with an in-depth interview about the band and how they got together. Sadly, his initial response was asking me if he could wait until the band had recorded some material so that they could promote the material. It was sad. I kind of wanted to do the interview right then, but I waited. And the great thing about this episode is they have their new single, Schizosphere, that's going to be played later, plus 2 songs that nobody else has heard. So that is amazing. My patience paid off. It is a great honor to be able to premiere these songs for you and for the band. In hindsight, I really do think it was a good move to wait for the interview, because at that point when I wanted to interview them, I don't know if they would have been as excited as you can hear in this interview. They are super excited. They're almost done with their EP at the time of the recording, and it's just a great atmosphere, and it's infectious. It really, really is. When I got off the phone with them, I was really, really jazzed about every single thing that I had to do that day, and it was because of talking to them and their enthusiasm carried over. Speaking of that, before I get started, I have to thank you, the listener, because if it wasn't for you guys, nobody would be interested in this podcast, and I thank you guys so much. It's you and the bands that make this worth it. I'm just the middleman that makes sure everything kind of runs a little bit smoothly, but it's you guys that make it worthwhile, so thank you guys so much. I also want to thank my sponsor, stringjoy.com. Thank you guys so much for being part of the podcast. You guys are amazing. If you don't follow Stringjoy on social media, then you don't know what they just released. Recently, they just released the announcement that they now carry customizable instrument cables. So all you have to do is go to the website for the cables and choose the color, choose the length in feet and inches, which is amazing. You can also decide on the angle of your plug, which is amazing. For me, I use MLs, and the straight plugs just really, really annoy me. They get in the way. So I'm going to be ordering me a cable from Stringjoy that has a 90-degree angle to cut that off and to make it a lot easier to deal with those MLs. Once you're done ordering and specifying what you want in that cable, go to the checkout, and once you're there, put in the promo code LOCAL, that's LOCAL, and you'll get a discount for being one of the amazing listeners of the podcast. To keep up to date with Stringjoy, all you have to do is go to @StringjoyStaff on Twitter, @StringjoyStaff on Instagram, and Facebook.com/Stringjoy. You can also keep up to date on their website, as stated earlier, stringjoy.com. Go get that customizable stuff. Everybody knows it's more fun to have your stuff customized for you, for your functionality. That is what Stringjoy is all about. As for the podcast, you can find the podcast at facebook.com/thelocalmusicrevolution, on Twitter @TLMR podcast, and on Instagram @thelocalmusicrevolution. Also, if you have a WordPress, you can follow the WordPress that runs this podcast, thelocalmusicrevolution.wordpress.com. There, all the information that you need to know about the podcast, that you will ever need to know about this podcast, is on that site. The ramblings are done. The plugs are done. Everything's done. Let's get to this interview because Map the Universe is fantastic. Here they are, and here you get to hear the previews of their songs, The Gaze and Circular Pulse. This is Map the Universe. All right, I'm here with the gentlemen from Map the Universe. How are you guys doing?
Doing good. Good.
We're all great. Unfortunately, our drummer couldn't join us, but we're good.
All right, so speaking of that, who exactly are we talking to you, and what do you guys play in the band?
So I'm Aaron. I play bass and background vocals.
And I'm Jacob. I do mostly all the clean vocals and unclean vocals.
My name is James, and I'm the guitarist.
Awesome, gentlemen. Well, it's very nice to have you on the show. And who are we missing?
We're missing Curtis.
We're missing Curtis.
All right, so you guys are a new band out of the Central Valley, out of Fresno, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so how did you guys get together, and what brought you to this point in time?
Well, Aaron, I feel like this should be your I don't know, your question here.
Yeah, me and Curtis, we've been friends for a really long time, going back to high school, and we always just kind of played music together. We kind of grew up musically, and we just kind of got to a point where we really wanted to start a band and start something really serious. So, we took to Craigslist, and that's pretty much it. We got James through Craigslist, and then we just started jamming. So that's kind of how it started. So Craigslist.
Okay, so before we get into the rest of this, do you have any horror stories from trying to find musicians on Craigslist?
We got a couple guys that were just like, yeah, we play a lot of like covers, like 80s covers. And, there's a million 80s covers bands out there, and we weren't really interested. A lot of weird guys. Nothing really like that grabbed onto us at first. So no horror stories, but a lot of like, the typical, I play 80s covers, stuff like that. So.
All right, so Jacob, you were in a band previous, and all of a sudden there was nothing from you, and then you start talking about Map the Universe. Can you go into how you guys got together and started working on this music?
Yeah, pretty much. I was in a former band, and when I was with them at the time, I was working at Olive Garden, which is how myself and Curtis's, our drummer, how our paths ended up crossing. And I would just kind of like show him my former band's music, and he'd be like, "Dude, that sounds really good. I really like your vocals." And he would show me like little clips that he had recorded off of his phone of the guys jamming, and I'd be like, "Damn, like that's really cool. Like this is really unique and different from anything in the scene in Fresno." But at the time, I was really committed to my former project. My former project ended up going on a little short tour in November of 2014 that ended up totaling our van, and everything kind of went to the toilet after that. So
wow.
I left the band, and I told Curtis, I'm like, hey, I don't have anything going on anymore, and I would like to jam with you guys. So, jammed out, and I guess everybody liked me, thank goodness. So yeah, it was all good after that. I really am happy with the direction that this band has taken me musically. So.
All right, so you guys get together, you guys start jamming. When do you guys start getting serious and saying, "I want to write an EP"?
Probably like the beginning of like as soon as we got together, we were just like EP shows. Like I think that was just like always on the mind. Don't you guys think so?
Yeah, I would say we've all been kind of serious about music for a while, and we're really kind of ready to be out there and giving ourselves a shot out there. And so I would say it was serious, after the first couple of jam sessions, and we realized, that we can all kind of play together pretty well.
So Jacob, what's the biggest difference between this band and your previous band?
Shit, so much, man. There's so much. so much to cover. I feel like this music is a little bit more technical, and I mean, not to talk shit, but it's a little less generic. Which, I mean, like I said, not to talk shit, generic sells. But I really think that there's a market for prog music now too, and it kind of going to the Between the Buried and Me Coma Ecliptic tour with my bandmates like really opened up my eyes, because Between the Buried and Me and all those bands seriously packed out the Ace of Spades in Sacramento. We went and we saw the show and handed out CDs afterwards. So it was like a really eye-opening experience for me, because all I've ever done before was like generic metalcore, and I have all these people telling me like, oh, like this is wrong with this music and this is wrong with your new music. Whereas I feel personally really confident about it, and most of the people that I show really dig it. So yeah, it's a lot more it's a lot more progressive. It's not metalcore, you know. So there's going to be some differences. There's going to be some heavy parts like there was in my previous bands, and there's going to be a lot more parts that, you know, get jazzy and kind of reggae-ish and alternative rock-ish. So it's like we're like an orgy of genres, so I dig it.
All right, so when you guys are writing, you describe yourself as progressive. So when you guys are writing these songs, is it a natural thing, or did you guys say, I kind of want to just expand and see where everything can take us?
It's kind of cool how we write music. I feel like everybody has their own influences, and we all bring something different, and it just kind of comes out that way. It comes out, you know, the music isn't really, you know, straightforward. You know, James will write something really heavy, you know, and then I'll come in with something a little bit more jazzy, a little bit more proggy, and then we kind of run with it. So I think just us having different musical backgrounds helps us a lot. I think that's the main thing.
And so how does the writing process start for you guys? Is it guitar riffs, or is it a melody, or drum beats, or is it all of the above?
I think usually one of us will write something and bring it to the group, and we'll expand on it. Or there's been times where me and Aaron will sit down and we'll just say we're going to work on this song and see what happens, and they'll take us wherever. And usually the melodies and stuff, they come last, and we kind of go music-orientated first, and then we kind of throw in our lyrics and melodies later to kind of fit the song.
Nice. So I'm looking at your Facebook page, and it says you're heavy melodic progressive rock from Fresno. And my favorite part of this is it says for fans of Between the Buried and Me and Incubus. So it sounds
I was
like
the one who wrote that, I'm not going to lie.
Well, there's a wide range of musical genres within those two bands. So who's the Incubus fan?
I don't know how everybody else feels about Incubus, but I really like, you know, what they do with their music. They're a little groovy at points and stuff. And one of our songs, The Gaze, just like the intro of that and just like the sound of it towards the very beginning, it just immediately reminded me of like, oh, like this is something that kind of sounds similar to Incubus. So we're playing like Summerland, which is coming up on August 15th, which might be past by the time this interview airs. But it's cool because we're going to be playing with a lot of like 90s rock bands that are kind of around the same time as, you know, as Incubus. We got Everclear, even a little bit before Incubus. Everclear, Fuel, The Toadies, American Hi-Fi, and then we have some more melodic, or not melodic, more what am I thinking? More modern acts like Requiem, which is kind of metalcore. So okay. I feel like that show's going to be like a good draw. We're kind of in between, like how our Facebook says, like we're kind of in between like that, like super alternative, like kind of music and like super heavy and super progressive stuff. Like we're everywhere. So
speaking of Summerland, you guys are just coming out. To my knowledge, you haven't played any shows. You've got one song and a snippet out. And you have this gigantic show that you're on. Can you talk about how you guys got into that show?
Really, it's just a huge blessing, man. Like, it's insane. I've been involved in the music scene and concerts and all that stuff ever since I was a teenager. So I used to shoot concerts. So like I would just build all these connections and get to know everybody in the scene here in Fresno, and it's really paid off. You know, that's what it takes in a business, in the music business, is you just really have to network and work your ass off to get your name out there so everyone knows who you are and knows your work ethic and knows that you work your ass off. So basically, I've known Art Silva for a long time, and Artourage, and just kind of approached him, and I was like, hey man, like, we're looking for a show to play for like our first really big show, and we noticed that you still have a couple spots open for Summerland. Is there any way that we can get on that? And he had us message his business partner. His business partner basically said, well, you guys are still like under the radar. We at least need you to make a Facebook page and get a decent amount of likes within the next couple days so I can send this off to the touring package management, and they can approve it. So we made a private Facebook page, and within like 48 hours, with the help of everyone else who's on social media, we had like a little bit over 200 likes. It was amazing, you know, and I feel like once we start playing bigger shows and getting our name out there, like, it's just going to freaking skyrocket from there. So like I said, it was a blessing, but it was also networking and hard work throughout the years.
Wow, man, that's incredible. I've never actually heard of something happening like that. Congratulations. Really,
Thank you.
awesome.
Thank you.
Speaking
the whole band appreciates that for sure.
Speaking of that, you guys also put out your first single. Can you tell me about the song Schizosphere?
What do you want to know about lyrically, musically, everything?
Anything you want to tell me, I would love to hear.
Anything. You want to go for this, James or Aaron?
Yeah, it was the first song we ever wrote together, weirdly enough. And I don't know, it's a weird song because it evolved a lot. You know, at first it was just half of it, and then we started coming back to it and adding more to it, and maybe getting rid of parts and changing it. So it's been kind of a weird ride, I guess, musically.
Awesome. All right.
And
well,
lyrically,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Lyrically, we're doing we're trying to do a concept album, and it's the second song, and I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, just go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
This is Schizosphere.
I don't ever think that I can feel
All right, that was Schizophere. So, gentlemen, you mentioned during the explanation of this past song that you guys tried to write a concept record. Can you tell me about what the idea and the thought process behind that was?
The initial thought process came from a class I took at Fresno State about mimetic theory, which basically talks about how humans imitate each other, and that's how culture evolves, and how we kind of shape ourselves over the years.
Wow.
So in this, we wanted to talk about how basically we're following somebody throughout their life and how they're experiencing or starting to understand how people have influenced them and how they want to change either the good or the bad throughout their life. And so this is kind of taking an introspective look at somebody and how their influences shape them.
So is the concept introverted? Do you look into yourself and explain like things that you've seen because of that knowledge, or do you look around yourself and see what people are doing?
I think it's a combination of both, honestly.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, because sometimes you can see what other people's habits are and what their patterns are better than you can see your own, or you don't really quite recognize it. But watching someone else do it, you can actually learn more about yourself that way. So I would say it was probably both.
Nice, man. So that was the concept. Were you influenced by concept records, or was this just a one-off idea that you had?
I think the latest albums from Between the Buried and Me, the Parallax 1 and 2, I think those were just masterpieces, honestly. And the way the lyrics are and the way the music flows and everything like that, it's just something that you kind of like, you're like in awe of, you know, as a musician. It's something to strive for. You know, all the old like Pink Floyd albums, stuff like that, you know, they're all really great, and there's something to strive for sure.
Yeah, Rush's 2112 too. I'm a classic rock guy, so that was extremely influential on me as a player and what I wanted to do as a musician.
See, I am a huge fan of concept records, and it actually goes back to Queensryche with their Operation Mindcrime record.
Oh, yeah.
That is one of my favorite records of all time. I still think it holds ground today. It's one of the best. But the concept, like, I spent years of my life just diving into the concept and trying to break apart and figure out what they were doing. And it was just, it was incredible. And my most recent favorite concept was Devin Townsend's Z2.
Yeah.
That man is a genius. I cannot say enough good things about that man. Amazing album. Funny as hell, too.
Yeah, he holds it down for sure.
So speaking of that, what are your guys' influences? You said Between the Buried and Me. We talked about Incubus, but what do you guys listen to outside of the band? What fuels your fire?
Well, I'm the fairy princess of the band. Like, I listen to everything. And I say fairy princess just because, like, I listen to metal and stuff, but I also, if you catch me in my fairy princess mood, I'll be, you know, rocking out to Lady Gaga or Kesha or, like, Taylor Swift. That's my girly side. But, dude, I listen to literally, like, everything. Like, I've been really digging this new Drop for a Cowboy record, Sun Eater. The new Between the Buried and Me record, of course. I'm a big of Mice and Men fan.
Yeah.
I actually have an ampersand tattoo on my Achilles. They're just one of, Austin Carlisle is just one of those vocalists that I remember seeing as a kid or a teenager, not really kid, as a teenager, and just being like, holy shit, man, this guy's stage energy, like he just knows how to control a crowd. And there's been very few frontmen that I could look at. Mitch Lucker was one of them from Suicide Silence that I could look at and be like, that's what I want to do, and that's how you know, I want to control a crowd. So yeah, they were big influences for me for sure.
Wow, that's awesome.
I would say a lot of classic rock stuff, like Pink Floyd was a huge influence on me. Grunge movement, I love Pearl Jam and Alice in Chains. And I'm really into a lot of the newer progressive music. The Contortionists are probably one of my favorite bands at the moment. And, you know, just anything in between. If it's got, you know, guitar and bass and drums in it, and I'm really a fan. So
Am I the only odd one out in this band that likes reggae? I'm just wondering.
Oh, no,
I've never asked you guys before.
Oh, no, reggae's great. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I'm the kind of the outcast. Metal, I don't really listen to that much metal outside of, the band. Very limited selection on that. I'm really influenced by Radiohead, a lot of alternative stuff. I like Bjork a lot. Like, it's just, I don't know. That's why I think our music's a little different, because I kind of bring that a little bit. Everybody's a little bit more, I don't want to say generic, but, as far as metal goes, they kind of know a little bit more what they're talking about, and I'm kind of the electronic music guy. So that's kind of like what I listen to.
So being that is what it is, how do you get the heavy stuff? I mean, if you're influenced by the more mellow stuff, like, how do you come up with the heavier parts for the music you play?
Well, I actually don't really come up with many heavy parts. That's mostly James and Curtis. They kind of present it to me, and then I just kind of, come up with something. It's kind of, so yeah, I don't really do a lot of the metal stuff.
All right, so that being said, do you play with your fingers or do you play with a pick?
Fingers, for sure.
Really? Let your fingers do the walking?
I do. Fingers are walking.
That's just what they'll do. One of these days, these fingers are going to go inside of you.
All right, sorry. That was bad jokes all the way around. My bad, guys.
Sorry, I was being ADD. That was my bad.
No, same here. All right, so how do you guys mesh your influences? I know from when I was in a band, sometimes somebody just doesn't like a part, or somebody just it just doesn't hit them the way it hits everybody else. Have you guys had those clashes of creativity, and how do you guys get around those?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I would say compromise. Compromise is probably the biggest. There's sometimes, especially when we were recording, we just I wouldn't like something, or they would add an effect that Aaron didn't like, and we'd argue over it for a while, and nothing serious, but we'd eventually try and find a compromise where we can both be satisfied with what we've done.
All right, so you mentioned recording with that, and that is something we haven't talked about. So how did you guys record this EP?
Well, Curtis has a friend, and he's been doing this for a while. He has Pro Tools and all that kind of stuff. So, we kind of threw him some money and said, hey, you want to record us? And yeah, just kind of, once again, it was another blessing, honestly. Without Sean, our producer, I just feel like none of this wouldn't have happened. It sounds really great, for our first venture into it. And he's made it really easy too. He's really patient with us, because this is the first time me and James have recorded anything like this, and it was kind of weird at first. It's kind of weird playing to a metronome.
Yeah.
So yeah.
He's amazing, man. Like, he knows exactly the kind of vibe and the sound that we're going for. He's super patient with all of us. He's like this laid back hippie dude that listens to progressive metal, and it's amazing because he knows exactly what we're going for, and the caliber of the quality of his recordings is just insane compared to most other Fresno producers and people or bands that people record with from the Fresno area, and that's something that we talked about setting out to do. We want to start, and we want to have the best quality recordings in Fresno, and once we build our scene in Fresno, we want to, and we start playing shows in San Francisco and Sacramento and LA, eventually for our full-length album, which we're going to start working on as soon as we're done recording this EP. We want to go into an actual studio. Not that Sean is not great, but we do want to go into an actual studio and just have really professional sounding shit, because that's what you're up against in big cities like that. But where we're starting, Sean is amazing. He's been great, and we might actually end up recording with him for our debut album and sending it off to somebody to master. So you never know. But he's amazing. He's been super patient and awesome with us.
Oh, yeah, just to touch on the patience, our drummer, Curtis, has changed his snare sounds probably 25 times. So we'll finish a song, and then we'll go back and listen to it, and then Curtis is just like, I hate that snare. And it's just an endless circle. So, very patient.
Drummers can be assholes. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
All right, so when you guys go into the studio, or when you guys went into the studio, is there a set schedule of how you guys do things, or do you focus at one song at a time and try to get that the best it can be?
Really, Curtis, he was really eager, I guess, because he would go in and get drum tracks done for almost all the songs, and he was done almost right from the beginning. And then me and Aaron would go in sporadically and start recording wherever we could. And if I was having a hard time getting a part just right, I would go on to another song and start recording for that. So really, we've gotten everything else done and just finishing up with vocals now. That's about it.
James, me and Aaron, you're the English major. Come on, bro. It's Aaron and I. I've been talking so good about your English for helping out with our lyrics, and you just let me down, bro. That's not cool.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'll forgive you.
All right. So along with that, you guys have set a release date. The release date's going to be September 22nd, 2015. But you just said that you guys aren't done with your vocals. Now, I see that as a ballsy move. You guys have a lot of balls doing that. So, why did you guys set a release date before the vocals were finished?
Well, we're pretty much done. We just honestly have like 2 songs that need to have vocals laid down. There's 7 tracks total, and 2 of them are like instrumental interlude kind of things. So, I mean, we really only have like 2 more songs to record. We know the melodies. We know exactly how it's going to go. Like, we've practiced it. It's just a matter of getting in there and laying down those tracks, which honestly won't take that much time.
Jacob does really well in the studio. He makes it easy on everybody. It's not like a long process. He just sings it, and it sounds good, and he makes it quick.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Yay.
All right, can you guys tell me about the song Circular Pulse? Gosh, man.
Circular Pulse is like our heaviest song. That's the only song that we elected as a band not to play at Summerland because it's going to like scare people and they're going to think that we're Satan worshipers.
Wow.
Well, we are, aren't we?
Yeah, that's it. You sold our soul.
So where does the song fit into the concept?
It's really at the angry stage, figuring out that the people you've looked up to your entire life are human too, and that they have problems as well that you didn't realize before, and this is you trying to escape from those traps, those influential traps.
Wow. I like that, man. I really do. All right, this is... Sorry, did you have something else?
No, go ahead.
All right, this is Circular Pulse.
I was going to say, personally, for me, like, Circular Pulse is about that, but it's also, like, realizing it's about, like being, 16, 17, 18, and just realizing, like, how much of your social institutions that you were raised about have made you into the person that you are, and it really just pisses you off, and you realize how much you've been brainwashed, and just that desire and that anger of just breaking free, like when everybody's 16, 17, mostly every kid, like, it's like, if you parents gonna do what I want. So it's kind of like about that rebellious stage and just realizing, like, how much your parents and your churches and your social groups have made you into the person that you are, and realizing that's not the person that you want to be.
All right. Well, this is Circular Pulse.
All my reason constructed through futile pride. Turn out to be light. Season is so fine. The pathways inside of your mind.
That was Circular Pulse. All right, guys. So, so you guys talked about prepping for Summerland. How you guys decided not to put Circular Pulse into Summerland set. So, what are you guys doing to prep for that show?
Basically, you know, tons of social media marketing, trying to get the word out there through social media. Like, literally, right before this interview, I took flyers to Rasputin's and, you know, made some flyers at Kinko's with our information on the back for pre-sale tickets. So yeah, we've done a lot of just, you know, hands-on kind of stuff, like handing out flyers at shows and putting them at stores, really getting the word out through social media. We've pretty much got our set lined up. I know personally for me, I wish that we would be able to have like a sound clip, like kind of keyboard kind of thing for the show, but I don't think that's going to happen. But we're just kind of really, we're going with the flow. You know, we've ran through our set many times. We all know how we want everything to be. So does anybody else want to touch on that?
Well, we've been playing these songs for a long time. So I mean, it's, you know, it's just a lot of repetition, you know, getting those final kinks out. I think that's what it is. You know, we just have to play a really good show. So that's it.
Yeah, and we practice on our own. You know, we run through our recordings on our own, and then we come together and we just practice and play them again and again. And they've been feeling really solid the last few practices, and I've been happy with it. So we're just looking forward to it a lot.
So when you guys practice as a band, do you practice like you are trying to play a show, or do you just run through the set?
The last few times, go ahead.
Go ahead.
The last few times, yeah, we've been practicing, getting ready for a show, having Jacob talk to the crowd, getting us pumped, and, you know, trying to get into the music, you know, so that we're giving a good show too, not just playing well.
Yeah, I agree. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, sometimes Jacob will like say something or like do a crazy scream out of nowhere, and it like catches me off guard because I haven't really played a lot of live shows. So that's something that I'm really appreciative for, just because I'm not used to that. I just got to keep playing. That's my thing.
Yeah, we have like a secret location. There's no cover. We kind of have like a secret location pre-gig Summerland thing going on. So it's going to be an opportunity for us to play for a crowd, and there's going to be other local bands there that are playing for like some after party kind of event. So it'll give us a chance to warm our vocal cords and fingers up, and Curtis his feet since he plays bass, double bass, drums. He plays bass, guys. So yeah, it'll just be like a really good opportunity for us to kind of test the waters and standing still. That was a lyrical joke. We test the water standing still.
That's awesome, man. All right, so I also saw on your Facebook that you guys now have shirts, and there's a logo on them. Can you talk about the logo and how that idea came about?
It's actually funny. I made that logo when I was just kind of my downtime at work with a phone app, just a really simple phone app, and I showed the guys and they all liked it, and it's kind of just been there. So.
Yeah, it was simple. I mean, it was simple. It was designed by Aaron, so it wasn't like we had to pay a graphic designer or anything. We just bought the shirts, in bulk, and we got the shirts printed through a buddy of ours. They're printed on really nice, high-quality Gildan heavy cotton shirts, and we try to get like a variety of sizes that we feel that our people who listen to our music are gonna like wear. Whereas we got some smalls and mediums, our music doesn't really appeal to Sleeping with Sirens fans. So we got a little bit more large and extra large shirts. It's a limited run. I've personally sold 3 of them, but I know we don't really plan on selling any more. Maybe a couple at this after party thing, but we want to make sure that we have plenty of shirts available for Summerland. And I mean, after that, if we have leftovers, since it is a limited run, they're all up for grabs. So we'll be posting all those online after the show, I'm pretty sure.
That is awesome, man. So what does the symbol actually mean? Is it just something that looks badass, or does it actually
Illuminati?
Really?
The TMU is in there. It's hard to explain over the phone, but TMU is in there. So
basically Illuminati.
Map the Universe is in there. I'm just saying TMU. Good job, Aaron.
We are an Illuminati-sanctioned music act.
That is awesome. I joke with my friends all the time about the Illuminati. All right, so sorry. Another thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about is the promo pictures that you guys have. There was nothing, and then all of a sudden, bam, there were promo pictures, there were shirts, there were everything. You kind of like hit like with a 1-2 punch kind of thing. So how do you guys feel about the promo pics? Was that a fun time for you guys? I mean, can you go into that story?
Me and James absolutely hated it.
It was very awkward. I think and Curtis they were having a good time, but we were kind of like pouting little kids the whole time.
Was it hot?
Yeah, we're all really
hot.
happy with them. They turned out super solid. Our friend Alexandria took pictures for us. She did an amazing job. We're really grateful for her. She hooked us up, and hopefully with us playing these first few shows and people seeing these pictures, that gets her some exposure as well, because she's an amazing artist and a great photographer.
Yeah, we're all very happy with it. We've all been.
So did you guys actually have to go scouting for the location, or have to jump through any hoops, or did that just kind of fall into your laps too?
Curtis our drummer, did a little bit of scouting. He kind of like went to like the sketchy parts of Fresno and was like, hey, there's like an abandoned factory, and this would be really cool to take some pictures at. And we looked at the pictures that he took on his phone, and we were like, yeah, dude. So yeah, that's kind of how that happened.
Yeah, it looks like it was really hot that day. Just
Oh yeah,
It was very hot, and I could not stop squinting. I was just squinting the whole day.
it was bright. Like, yeah, it was really bright. It's like when you're a stoner and you don't smoke in the morning, and then you try to go out in the sunlight. Except I don't smoke, and it was that bright. Don't ask me how I know that. Don't ask me how I know that. But.
Oh man, I completely understand. I got LASIK 2 years ago, and the thing that they don't tell you is when your eyes adjust to good sight, it's really hard to be in the sun.
Yeah.
It is terrible.
Yeah, it was super bright that day. Like, everybody was squinting. We should have all just wore sunglasses and been like that band. Should have been Attila, guys.
Oh wow.
I don't think Curtis's mom would have liked that, though.
No.
I don't like Attila, guys. My mom doesn't like them. It's okay, Curtis's mom. My mom doesn't like them either.
All right, so I forgot to ask you in the beginning. I usually do, but what does the name Map the Universe actually mean to you guys?
We got it. We were having a really hard time just deciding on a band name, and so we eventually just started looking through our favorite band's lyrics. And I was looking at a Contortionist song, and they had a line that said "Mapping the Universe." And so we thought it was a really cool idea, and it was very expansive. So it was limitless. So we were very we thought it fit the music. So
yeah, it fits the music, and I don't know if, like, for anybody else, if it really has like a personal meaning, but for me, like, I know I believe in separate realities and metaphysical freaking universes and shit. So just the ability to kind of like create your own destiny, and so that's kind of where that's what it means to me. I mean, I know it came from lyrics, but it's like, the universe is at your hands. It's just in your matters of how you choose to think and believe, and map your own universe, map your own path, create your own destiny.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think it's been growing on us too.
Yeah.
At first, when we first got the name, I wasn't very sure about it, but as we've been going along, we really connected to it, I feel.
Nice.
Pretty much everybody that we've shown too, or like when we first came out with our Facebook, like I remember like 5 comments before we even had like profile pictures or songs was like, "Cool, we're really looking forward to this, and the name's badass, or really cool name, guys." So then I think we were all kind of like, okay, people like this, we're getting to like it, so it's cool.
It is a really cool name, man. I really enjoy it. It's something different. Like, I would have never thought of that, so that was pretty cool. So what is the future for you guys after Summerland, after the EP drops? What are you guys thinking about doing next?
Personally, for me, just playing some more shows and writing our full-length album. I don't know how the other guys feel.
No, I can't wait to start writing again. We've been playing these songs for a really long time, and it's not that I don't like playing them. It's just we got to get something new. So yeah, I'm looking forward to writing, and we've learned a lot from this process. So we're looking forward to using what we've learned over the last year with our new endeavors.
Yeah, now that we all know like how we all work as individuals and musicians, like this full-length album, like I can't wait for us to get started working on this, because it's just going to be that much better. And I know everybody else feels the same. So
yep.
Awesome. Now, can you guys tell me about the song "The Gaze"?
It's the opening song of the album, and it's kind of the part where the light bulb goes on, and he's starting to the person that we're following along is figuring out that there's so much different influence in his life. And it really starts off calm and peaceful, and we build it up, and it just goes into what would you guys describe it as? More metal. Yeah, it gets really metal, and
yeah,
we got a sing-along chorus too, and I don't know, it's like a 7-minute song, but it's really fun, and it entertains the whole time, I feel. And James does a sweet solo at the end of it. Sweet.
The Gaze is my personal favorite song off the EP. Like, I love Circular Pulse because it's super heavy, but The Gaze has every ounce and bit of being of our music in one song, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry. I was just gonna say, like, I really feel like, I know we talked about the recording process earlier, but I just feel like I want to thank everyone in this band for just, welcoming me with open arms and just working with me. And I feel like I've gotten, like, so much constructive criticism and encouragement, to build me up. Whereas, with other projects that I've worked with, it hasn't been constructive criticism. It was just shit that made me want to do worse.
Oh.
So thank you guys.
Oh, Jacob. Aw.
Would it be weird if I said
very
you're welcome?
Would it be weird what?
Would it be weird if I said you're welcome?
No.
You're welcome. You're very welcome.
All right. This is The Gaze.
porcelain machine. I believe the reflection you say is not who I've become. I believe that the reflection you say is not who I've become. But I am a type of state. But I am a type of state. Isn't it? But I am a type of state. But I am a type of state.
Alright, so that was The Gaze. Alright, guys, so before we get going, I want to talk about your guys' social media presence. I've been on it most of the time we've been on doing this interview, checking you guys out even more than I have. Firstly, Curtis's drum set is gorgeous. I just have to put that out there because I'm a drummer and that thing is a work of art. Secondly,
I love that.
Secondly, you guys are very, very on social media so far. Jacob, you're really like into the updates kind of thing. So, is that just for promoting the band, or is that what you do all the time?
I'm just a very social media kind of guy. And yeah, it is for promoting the band and for the shows, but I honestly like keeping up to date with what's going on and in the music scene and in all my friends' lives. So plus I used to I'm at State right now. I'm a student at State studying theater arts. But before this, I was studying mass communications with an emphasis in public relations, and a lot of things that we studied in the PR class that I took had to do with social media. So I feel like I got to learn a lot about, peak hours when times are going to, people are going to be on Facebook, and, when your posts are going to reach the most people. And I think that that basic knowledge is very, very important to know if you do plan on running social media accounts for your bands and for your art, because, you can post as much shit as you want at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock p.m., but the reality of the fact is not as many people are going to see it as if you're posting, earlier on in the day when people are on their lunch breaks and people pull out their phones and they have nothing to do and they're like, oh, let me open up my Facebook app. It's taking these PR classes has definitely helped with the whole social media kind of thing, and just learning from previous projects too, learning from mistakes, and
Nice. All right, so speaking of that, how can people get a hold of you guys and hear your new music?
Well, we're on Bandcamp. You can look us up, Map the Universe, just search for us. We're also on SoundCloud, same. Just search for us. Our Facebook, if you search for us, it should come up. It's MTU Band. And then we are on Twitter. We're trying to expand our following on Twitter. So that is going to be at MTU_band. So yeah, did I miss anything? Bandcamp, SoundCloud.
We're getting a Reverb Nation set up soon too.
Yes,
Okay.
We're gonna have a Reverb Nation, and once our EP comes out, we're gonna be looking at hopefully getting it on either like CD Baby and or iTunes. We want to have our music available online to stream on like SoundCloud. But I mean, if people really dig it, we've invested a lot of money into just recording this EP. We've never been one of those bands that has talked about doing an Indiegogo for a small EP with 5 tracks. We want to do this for ourselves and for hopefully people who will enjoy our music. So if people want to support and not stream it off SoundCloud, that's awesome. We want to make that option available for them, and we would appreciate the support.
Nice. All right, gentlemen. Well, it was wonderful talking to you. Thank you so much for being on the show. I really hope you guys had a good time because I was having such a great time talking to you guys, all right?
Hell yeah, man. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for your time, man. We appreciate this. We've been doing a little bit of a game of tag,
Yeah.
technical difficulties on your end and rescheduling things on our end, and now we're finally here, and it's been awesome. So thank you.
I got to tell you this, though, man. That stupid computer, the computer I'm using right now is Windows, and Windows decided to update in the middle of me shutting down, and that was the entire problem. It's stupid. I'm sorry. That just really makes me angry. But yes, man, it was wonderful talking to you guys. Please keep in contact because I really want to see where you guys go, how you guys are doing, and by all means, contact me if you guys need anything, all right?
Thank you. Thank you so much, man.
All right, gentlemen, you have a good night.
You too. Be blessed, bro.
So that was Map the Universe. Very, very cool guys. Very fun. And like I said in the beginning, very, very infectious with their enthusiasm about the music. It's great to see people having that much enthusiasm about what they're creating. It's just very, very nice to see. Thank you guys so much for being part of this show. I really can't tell you how much of an honor it is to debut your songs. It's just such a great opportunity for me to be able to do that for you, and thank you so much for allowing me to do it. The EP they were talking about is self-titled. That means that it is called Map the Universe. You can find all of the information on their Facebook and on their social media, which Jacob updates almost religiously. It's amazing. They are on iTunes and other online retailers, so go check them out. Go download that album and let them know that you heard about them here at the Local Music Revolution. As for contacting the podcast, you can go to facebook.com/thelocalmusicrevolution, on Twitter at TLMR podcast, and on Instagram at thelocalmusicrevolution. You can also subscribe, rate, comment, and add the podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, and any other podcast catcher that you can think of. For iTunes, just search The Local Music Revolution under the podcast section of your iTunes store. We will pop up. You subscribe to the podcast, comment and rate the podcast. Let me know what you think of what I'm doing here. I really, really, truly appreciate that. Stitcher is for Android users such as myself. All you have to do is download it on your phone or your tablet and sign up. Once you've signed up, look for the Local Music Revolution in the search. We will pop up. You can follow and keep up to date with the podcast. Plus, through both of those, you can listen to all of the previous episodes. That's 34 at current time. I am slowly getting these episodes up on YouTube. All you have to do to find the channel is go to the search and look up The Local Music Revolution. Go subscribe, comment on your favorite episode, let me know what you think, give a thumbs up because you know what, that's how I know we're doing what we need to be doing. I want to shout out again to my sponsor, Stringjoy. You guys are phenomenal. Just recently, they announced that they are now introducing custom instrument cables. Okay, so now it's even better. You can go get your strings and your instrument cables. The cables have a lifetime guarantee, which is phenomenal. If they break, you can send them back. Stringjoy will make it good. I've tested out how to purchase them. Basically, all you have to do, go select that you want cables. You can pick the color, you can pick the adapter size, you can pick the length, you can pick the angle in which the jack is oriented. It's amazing what they are doing, and it's all custom and it's all for you. So go to stringjoy.com, go check out their custom strings, and now newly added their custom cables. Once you're done, all you have to do is go to checkout and enter promo code LOCAL, that's LOCAL, and you will get a discount for being one of the amazing listeners of the Local Music Revolution. I'm always looking for musicians, soloists, bands, groups. I don't care what you guys do. Honestly, you're doing the same thing that everyone else is doing. You're trying to make it. I am interested in talking to you about your process and about your project. So, all you have to do is go to thelocalmusicrevolution.wordpress.com, and there's an interview sign-up sheet. Fill out the relevant information because that helps me help you make it a seamless process. And once that is done, I will be contacting you to set up the interview for your project. That is that simple. It's very easy. It's very, very laid back. And as you hear, I try my very best to make it a very worthwhile process for the bands and the artists to come on and give me their time to talk about their music. Next week, I have a rap group out of Flint, Michigan. You may have heard of them, you may not. Either way, they've been around for over 20 years doing their thing, and it's amazing the stories that they have. They were originally signed to Psychopathic Records, which, if you know anything, that is ICP's record label that they have. I'm talking about none other than Project Born. You'll hear all their stories. You'll hear about their new album, Born Supremacy, and everything that goes into what they do to be amazing and have a 20-year career. This was a huge interview for me and the podcast, and it was great to have them on the show. And it's amazing to be able to help them promote their album, Born Supremacy. So next week, tune in. Until then, this is the Local Music Revolution. I am Ogre. You are awesome. Thank you guys so very much for listening. Until next time, take care and be good. This is the Local Music Revolution. The Local Music Revolution. The Local Music Revolution. 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 Local Music Revolution.